Good morning, students. We are about to complete our chapter, that is digestion and absorption, and I am discussing the last part, that is some of the disorders that are related to our digestive system. So various disorders, basically they are caused because of malnutrition, because of deficiency. So some of the deficiency disorders are like, there are some of the deficiency disorders which are caused because of the deficiency of proteins, that calls PEM, protein energy malnutrition. If an individual is not getting proper amount of proteins in his or her diet, so deficiency of protein will take place and it is leading to various conditions. For example, in infants and small childs, basically there are different conditions seen like kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor is basically seen in children from age 1 to 5 years. What happens when these children are not getting proper amount of protein in their diet, their muscles, or you can say their bones start weak, there is protrude belly, and the mental growth that also reduces because of the deficiency of proteins. Second condition is marasmus, that is seen in infants almost 1 year of age, and these infants are extremely lean. We can clearly see or their ribs, their bones, there is no fat deposition inside their body. Extreme less amount of fat is present there because all of the fat has been consumed because of the deficiency of food materials. Now these are having very reduced growth, there will be again mental retardation, and if these children are given proper amount of protein, then these conditions can be overcome, means these are not permanent conditions. There are some of the other deficiency disorders are night blindness and xerophthalmia. Both these disorders are basically related to our vision. They are caused because of the deficiency of vitamin A. We discussed earlier also, vitamin A is the component of rod cells. It is going to form a pigment that is rhodopsin, and these rod cells are giving us our vision. So if vitamin A will be deficient, rhodopsin will not be formed and our vision will be affected. Xerophthalmia is basically a condition in which individual is having dry eyes. Another disorder is microcytic anemia. Microcytic anemia is caused because of the deficiency of iron. If you remember, iron is the component of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is formed with the help of iron. So if there is deficiency of iron, hemoglobin will not form, and if there will be deficiency of hemoglobin, oxygen carrying capacity will be reduced, and this is known as microcytic anemia. Now another condition is goiter, and goiter is caused because of the deficiency of iodine. So these are some of the deficiency disorders. Other than these deficiency disorders, there are also some other disorders, some other symptoms which are related to our digestive system. For example, indigestion. Indigestion simply means incomplete digestion. Incomplete digestion can depend upon various things like our feeding habit, which type of food we are going to feed, if we are doing exercise regularly or not. So these are leading to indigestion, and indigestion has various symptoms. Because of it, various symptoms are appearing, like there can be pain in abdomen, there can be vomiting, nausea feeling can be there. So these are the symptoms, some of the symptoms that are coming because of indigestion of the food. Another condition can be constipation. Again, constipation can be caused because of all these disorders, there is not only one single reason for these disorders. Various regions are responsible. Like for constipation, the food may be retaining for more time in the rectum. This can be a situation. We are taking less fiber content in our food, that is also leading to constipation. Or we are not properly doing exercise daily, or our water intake is also less. So these all can be the situations that are leading to constipation. So what will happen in constipation, because there will be more absorption of water from the undigested food, and that is leading to hardening of the undigested food, and that is constipation. Next situation other than constipation will be jaundice. Jaundice, we know yellow color starts appearing, eye, nails, skin starts appearing yellow in color because of the accumulation of bilirubin. From where this bilirubin is coming? Basically what happens is, liver is going to take worn out RBCs, dead RBCs, and by breaking dead RBCs, a pigment is released, and that pigment is bilirubin. So bilirubin is coming from the worn out RBCs, and it is produced in liver. Now liver is going to release this bilirubin in the bile juice. And in digestive system, when we talked about digestive system, I told you this bilirubin is going to form various components like stercobilin, stercobilinogen, which are part of feces. So with the help of feces, they are going to be removed out of the body. This is the normal mechanism. Now what happens if this bilirubin is not reduced, or you can it is not removed out? It starts accumulating in our body, and this accumulation is leading to the condition that is known as jaundice. In infants, neonatal jaundice is very normal situation, and when the liver of these infants are going to develop, this can easily be treated. Another condition can be vomiting. Vomiting simply means that the cardiac sphincter, the sphincter that is present above the stomach, here a sphincter is present, that is going to relax. This is the cardiac sphincter, and all the content that is present inside this stomach, this content is going to move upward in the esophagus region, then to pharynx, and finally it will come out through the mouth, and this is vomiting. Now this condition can be caused because of the contraction of, there will be pressure inside the abdominal cavity, and contraction of abdominal wall and diaphragm can lead to the condition of vomiting. Another condition can be diarrhea. Diarrhea is basically there is more production of fluid. When we can say that during digestive system, we talked about that undigested food, this is large intestine, and undigested food is moving in large intestine, and during its movement maximum absorption of water takes place. This is we have discussed during our digestive system. Now what happens if this food is moving very fastly in the large intestine, and this large intestine is not getting enough time for the absorption of water? So the feces will be, the stools will be more watery, and there will be release of more water out of the body, and this can leads to the process of dehydration, or you can say the individual can undergo dehydration. Such conditions are occurring in diarrhea. So these are some of the disorders that are coming in our, or that are taking place in our digestive system. This is all about our digestive system. Next we will start our chapter that will be respiratory system.